into the cloud. There we go, live.
So hi everybody, I'm Siobhan Byrne-Larratt, the owner of Adams & Butler, and we're delighted to welcome you all this week where we have a webinar on golf in Scotland. So our golf specialist Jamie has arranged this webinar with Geo. So we're delighted for all the presenters that are joining us, and it's great that we have like the old famous courses as well as newer courses and other ones dotted throughout Scotland. So maybe I'll pass over to you, Jamie, and you can just introduce yourself.
Yeah, so hi everyone. As Siobhan said, my name is Jamie. I'm the golf specialist with Adams & Butler. So delighted today that you're all here to kind of explore a bit of Scottish golf with us. Just to give you a quick idea of where we'll be going today, I'll just share my screen. Have a map here. So we're going to start here in Dunbarney Golf Links. It's the newest golf course in Scotland. So we're going to visit David in just a couple of minutes, and he's going to tell us all about Dunbarney. Then we're going to fly across to Ardfin over here on one of the islands on the Isle of Jura. That's also one of the newer golf courses in Scotland. So they're kind of our two lesser known or maybe a bit more unknown to you guys. After Ardfin, we're going to make our way back to St Andrews. So Dunbarney here, as I just mentioned earlier, is just south of St Andrews, and we're going to visit. We're going to go to St Andrews. And we're going to visit Angus in the Old Course Hotel. So he's going to tell us all about golf in St Andrews and sort of the accommodation options that the Old Course Hotel can offer us. And then we're going to finish up north in Aberdeen with Lynn at MacLeod House, and she's going to tell us all about the exclusive use offer that MacLeod House have for your clients, and a bit about Trump International Scotland and the golf course there. And just to give you a bit more of an idea of how close they are to the main cities, you can see Edinburgh is here, so very close to Dunbarney and St Andrews, and then Glasgow is just under the 9-hour 1-minute sign here. So that gives you an idea of kind of where we are in Scotland. So we'll kick on with the show and we'll make our way across to David at Dunbarney.
And David, when you're talking about the golf course, can you tell us if there's anything really interesting that people should see as well, or do in your immediate area?
Absolutely. Well,
thanks.
Yeah, good morning everyone, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. My name is David Scott. I'm General Manager at Dunbarney Links. I'm PGA professional as well, and born and bred St Andrews, so I know this area very well, and I'm thrilled to be the GM here. Golf course opened back last year, May 29th. We closed on November 15th, and then we're reopening actually just next Wednesday. So we're delighted to be able to share with you all a short video clip will give you a feel of the golf course, and then after the video perhaps I'll just talk a little bit more about the course and what you can anticipate if you come and visit us. So Jamie, if you wouldn't mind if you could run the video, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Hopefully that gave you a very good flavour of what we're all about. I think some of the points you may have seen from the holes is there are no two holes really running side by side. The golf course is built over 345 acres. Most golf courses are built maybe 120, 150 acres. So it's a massive expanse of land. We have no two holes running in the same direction after each other. They're either going, they're going all over the compass. So when you get stiff breezes, as you do on the east coast of Scotland, you're never playing downwind two holes. It's crosswind, and there's a lot of fun out there and challenges. I mentioned about challenges. If you are playing a stiff wind, the golf course is set up very playably. There's wide latitude for play from the tee. You're not going to lose a lot of golf balls and get beaten up, which nobody likes to be done. Likes to get put on them, but a lot of risk and reward. Those that have played the golf course with us last year, many were talking about how it's important that hitting down the left side of the fairway gives you a nice angle into the green. So it's a thinking person's course. 3 drivable par 4s, which are really exciting for many of our guests coming in. If you can hit the ball a reasonable distance, play off the right set of tees for your handicap, then you make a good contact with your driver, and you can get really pretty close to the green and a chance of a lose of eagle or something for high handicappers even. So with 4 sets of tees, 5,300, 5,900, 6,400 and 6,940 yards. We have a championship set tees around 7.6. We won't be putting out there. It's just far too hard, really, apart from the big guns there. But we just recommend that you get the right set tees, and you can have a lot of fun. As you saw, lots of huge, dunes all over the place, huge sand everywhere you go. It's sand all the way down, so it's a bump and run links experience. It's nice, firm, crisp fairways and big undulating greens that quite often embrace the ball in, as opposed to bleeding it off as well. So they're welcoming greens as opposed to upturned saucer that give you a hard time if you don't hit the perfect shot anyway. So I think if I could describe the golf course in one word, I think it's a fun golf course. It's set up. You've got magnificent views. We're going to have a nice caddy program when people are allowed to come back to these shores anyway, and we hope to deliver a great experience for your guests. So I'd love to take any questions if there are any there.
David, just on these have club rentals and stuff like that, and just our clients usually might ask for stuff like that. They're not out and out golfers.
Sure. Yeah, we'll have that. So club, we'll have Callaway, we'll have Titleist as well. We have 3 golf carts for people that struggle to get round with a golf cart. Then we ask that a caddy goes along, either drives or walk beside the buggy as well. So, but yeah, sure, we have a lot of experience in the team, having dealt with many US guests in the past. So hopefully we'll tick all the boxes and not make many mistakes before your guests come along. We'll be in good order. So club hire, yes, absolutely.
Cool. And obviously being near St Andrews, there's I feel like saying hundreds of courses nearby, and I always feel like in Scotland golf courses are quite close together. So for Scottish tours, I would always recommend people kind of do a tour in a certain area rather than try and travel around the country, focus on a certain area. So
yeah.
I don't know if you could mention other golf courses near you, just to give people an idea.
Yeah, sure. Well, we're 11 miles from St Andrews, 12 miles. And so the closest golf courses to us would be Ely, which is only 3 or 4 miles, a lovely short links golf course. It's really quirky, some great holes by the water. And then a little bit further south, again, within maybe 5 miles or so, you've got Leven Links and then London Links, both fine links courses, both final qualifying courses for the Open Championship a few years back. So yeah, within 10 minutes drive, you've got 3 courses you can play, and then you go into St Andrews, and then you've got an array of great links courses there. You've got the Duke's Golf Course attached to the Old Course Hotel, which gives you a slightly different feel. You've got an inland golf course there, tree lined, that's always in great order in summer. So yeah, For many, you quite often find that they want to stay in St Andrews. They've got a lot of choice, just basing themselves in St Andrews.
There's some questions coming in. Is there a handicap you need to have from the USA for players? And can you confirm the date the course is opening? They can't believe it's so soon. And then I think you covered this already, the par and total yards. And fourthly, is there a high and low season rate or different rates on weekdays versus weekends?
Sure, right, okay. So I'll start with, we opened last year, 29th of May. We shut in mid-November. We open next Wednesday, the 17th of March on Paddy's Day. So that'll be easy to remember anyway. Unfortunately, we can't be selling any Guinness because we're not allowed to with the COVID rules over here. So that was disappointing. It's a par 72. We have 4 sets of tees for golfers to choose from. Going through them, they're 5,300, 5,900, 6,400, and 6,900 yards. Sorry, remind me of the other questions again.
Is there low and high season rates and different rates weekdays versus weekends, which I'm assuming there are, but just to confirm.
So the low season rate closes on 18th of April, and then we go high season, 19th of April. And sorry, last question was.
I think that's it.
Handicap limit. Is there a handicap limit?
You're right. Yeah, we're not going to be asking for handicap certificates unless there's an issue, and the person misses the ball 4 times in the first hole or something like that. I think generally, if you're paying a reasonably hefty green fee anyway, people are going to come for the experience and enjoy it rather than, in all the experiences at times that I've played, we've never really had to ask that. At courses I've worked at as well. Generally speaking, people that are coming on for a golf vacation, Adams and Butler, will be fairly proficient golfers. So, we don't see that as being an issue, but we reserve the right to ask for handicap if there's an issue, and then we'll advise them to leave the golf course. I don't see that happening.
Okay. Siobhan, do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't think so. But just to say that it's probably one of the lesser known amazing golf courses because it's just opened more recently of all the iconic golf courses. So it's great to have them on. And thanks a million, David, for doing it. But also, St Andrews is so near to Edinburgh. So it is an amazing combination doing both areas together. Staying in Edinburgh to enjoy the city and then, moving over to stay in that area, St Andrews, the Fife area to enjoy the golf. I think that's it, Jamie.
Okay, great. So, we'll keep it moving then. And we're going to make our way over to the Isle of Jura, and we're going to meet Beppo at Ardfin. So, Beppo, over to you.
And Beppo, people will recognize you and they'll say, how come I know him?
Yeah, I had a former life on the West Coast. So I'm now at Ardfin. Thanks very much, Jamie, Gio and Siobhan, for having us along to talk to you. As you say, Ardfin's a relatively new course. In 2010, a gentleman called Greg Coffey bought Ardfin Estate. It's located on the southeast corner of the island of Jura. And Jura is about 140 square miles in size, about 27 miles long. And it's part of the Inner Hebrides. So it sits about 50 miles north of Ireland and about 6 miles off the west coast of Scotland. Population of Jura is just under 200 people, and we have about 7,000 deer here on Jura.
Wow.
When the Coffeys bought the estate, they bought 12,000 acres of estate, they bought 10 islands and 12 miles of coastline. And after a year of owning the estate, Greg had the idea of building a golf course. And that's what he decided to create, Ardfin. So maybe we play the video, you can see what he created. Okay, so that gives you a flavour of Ardfin. Ardfin was, Greg contacted Bob Harrison, who's an Australian architect, who's the long-term business partner of Greg Norman. And he had one request of him, which was, could he build a golf course which was truly world-class for Jura? And that was the only request. There wasn't a discussion about money. There wasn't a discussion about how long it would take. And so he set about building it with Sol Golf from Ireland, and it took 4 years for them to build the course. And then they then had a plan of another 3 years for the course to grow in before anyone would be allowed to play it. And that obviously last year was extended by another year because we were due to open this time last year. And obviously COVID restructured all of that. And we look to reopen in April this year. The course is a par 72, 6,800 yard course, has 19 holes. It has a par 3 course in front of one of the buildings. And they're about to start building another 9-hole teaching academy course to go alongside the course this year. There's also facilities in the middle of the course. You probably saw Jura House, which is the main house. It was extended, remodeled and refurbished. And it's the base for the coffees when they come and stay here, but it's also an exclusive use venue as well, with its own indoor pool, wet facilities, driving range, indoor shooting simulator. And it has 9 bedrooms. And then they converted the old farm building to form their hotel operation. So that has 13 bedrooms and 2 3-bedroom suites, 2 3-bedroom apartments, and all the facilities, food and beverage facilities for the golf course. So Ardfin is really, it's more of an adventure than just a golf course because you have to get here in the first place. So crossing here, there are several ways to get to Jura. You can fly in to Isla, and then it's a 20-minute car journey across and the ferry across to Jura. You can take the ferry from the mainland, which is a 2-hour ferry. It comes into Port Ascaig, and then a little short 5-minute ferry takes you across to Jura. Or it's a simple 45-minute rib crossing from the mainland that comes directly to Jura a couple of times a day. Most guests would arrive in the morning. They would settle in, and then we take them down to the practice range on the course. We always suggest that people have a chance to warm up, because from the practice range, they then walk about 100 meters down to a very exposed first tee. It sits out on its own, surrounded by water on 3 sides. And before you lies the 400-yard stroke index 2 par 4 first hole, a daunting start and a real welcome to Ardfin. And it's off round the course, stopping after the 7th hole. We have a greenhouse refreshment stop, and then out for a challenging few holes before we'd stop again after the 11th for lunch, maybe at the boathouse down on the shore. And that gets you set up to head back to the back up to the 18th, and maybe a refreshment before a wee par 3 round on the short course. And that really sums up Ardfin. It's much more an experience than anything else. So as I say, we're open now, and we're open now and taking bookings right the way through the summer. You ask about when we close. We probably will close here towards the end of October. But Ardfin's also more about the estate. It's also about the facilities we have on the estate. We have lots of fishing, both sea and fresh fishing. There's obviously deer stalking on the estate. We can't have the 7,000 growing too many on the estate. So there you are, that's Ardfin. If you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer them.
I would love to, just since you mentioned the deer stalking, we do a lot of country pursuits. So if anyone has any requests for deer stalking, I think in America you term it deer hunting, please let us know as well, because, you know, doing Ireland and Scotland and Northern Ireland, it is very possible there. It's amazing golf course. Like, a lot of people are saying they wish they were golfers, Beppo. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'm not really a golfer myself, so but it is a stunning walk. I think Mark Twain said it's a walk ruined. Well, this is a very long walk, certainly enhanced with the golf course.
And is there enough to keep people occupied if you did a buyout and some were golfers and the others weren't?
Yeah, well, the Coffey family themselves, when they move here, they move for about a month at a time. It seems to be plenty to keep them occupied.
There's some whiskey nearby as well, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's obviously the island itself is quite the island Isla and Jura are fairly well sort of intertwined between the two of them. So on Isla, there's lots of walks and mountains to climb. We also have our own distillery on Isla, on Jura, and then of course you can cross over to Isla, which really is the home of the island malts, with many distilleries on Isla to explore.
That's brilliant. And it's great about being an exclusive use as well, because like the amount of requests we're getting for exclusive use properties and castles and, you know, stately homes, it's huge at the moment as well. Jamie, can you see any other questions there that need to be asked? By the way, a lot of people are sending their love. Linda Costa, they all remember you when you were in the Isle of Erisca.
There's no escape, is there?
There is no escape. Jamie, do you have any other questions you see there?
There was one there about people don't have to, they can just come and they don't have to play golf necessarily. They can just do the fishing and the deer stalking.
They can do, yeah. So certainly when we do the exclusive house use, there's quite a lot of people that golf is a very minor part of their stay. And in fact, that's very much the Mrs. Coffey is very much in favor of that. She doesn't want it to be just a golf estate. She'd like to have other activities as well.
And when a group does take on exclusive use, is the golf course closed to them, or is it still open to the public to come?
Yeah, well, it's not really, because of the way the course is set up, it's really much more for residential use as opposed to day use. Mm-hmm. But obviously under these sort of COVID restrictions, we are restricting our numbers greatly, which luckily being newly open, we can do quite easily. So yeah, we are, so yeah, it is restricted numbers and gives lots of space.
And there is just one question.
No need to book tea times here though.
Just one question there about spa facilities. Will you have any?
The easy answer is that I don't know, because every day we learn something new here. We currently haven't got anything, but down at the exclusive use venue, we've obviously got space down there. They have the pool and they have massage down there, but not in the hotel part.
Brilliant.
Okay, anything else, Siobhan, for you, Dad?
No, I think that's it. Just whilst you're passing over to the next person, yes, terms and conditions for all the golf courses, cancellations, deposits, etc., will be different. So what we do is when we're booking, we tell you what those terms are. You know, so it will be different in each case. Back over to you, Jamie.
Okay, well, I guess what most people are here for is we're going to the home of golf. Over to Angus at the Old Course Hotel. So Angus, over to you.
Thanks, Jamie. A tough act to follow. I'd love to go over to Ardfin. It's definitely on my bucket list. One of the few courses in Scotland I've yet to play, but it looks absolutely amazing. So hopefully I can get over there soon, hopefully anyway. But yes, I'm Angus Watson. I'm a senior sales manager at the Old Course Hotel. So hopefully I can kind of explain a few of the intricacies of booking golf in St Andrews, and give you a bit of an overview of what's happening over the next couple of years, certainly with the Open in 2022, so next year. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in St Andrews at the moment. And the video I've stolen from someone else gives a really nice overview of the Old Course and its location really in the heart of St Andrews. A lot of the very old golf courses in St Andrews start and finish in the towns like St Andrews and North Berwick and Troon. So it's really fun to see this video, kind of an overview of the Old Course and also the position of the hotel right on the 17th fairway of what is probably the most famous golf course in the home of golf. Thanks, Jamie. So yes, it's quite nice to see the pictures of the golf course, and the golf course are actually open here in St Andrews at the moment. We've been open all the way through the winter, and golf can be played all the way through the year in St Andrews as well. So we're restricted to local residents and things only, but there's hope that things open up over the next coming weeks as the restrictions lift. So the Old Course Hotel itself is actually going to reopen on the 17th of May. So hopefully international travel restrictions are lifted along with those in the coming weeks so that we can start to welcome international golfers back to St Andrews. St Andrews itself and the Old Course is notoriously difficult to book and get a tee time. Unfortunately, supply and demand mean that there's always more golfers looking to play St Andrews than there are tee times. And the way that is managed is there's three main ways to book. The first main way is to book through what we call an authorized provider. So to kind of go back a step, St Andrews Links is a trust that runs 7 golf courses in the home of golf, including the Old Course. So it's run on behalf of the town and the community, and they allocate authorized provider status to golf tour operators, travel agents, and hotels throughout kind of the world, I guess, really. The Old Course Hotel is a partner, so it's an authorized provider, and we can provide these guaranteed tee times that you can build a package around and get your golfers on the Old Course. So those packages sell out pretty far in advance. We usually allocate, so we're allocating at the moment tee times for 2022. And that happens, looking at almost 18 months in advance. So you need to be quick to kind of get off the mark and get these guaranteed tee times. And 2022 is actually going to be a bit of a tricky year for us. As you saw in the pictures there, that was from the last Open in St Andrews. You could see all the grandstands up set around the golf course and no golfers on it. And that's because they close the course for around 6 weeks prior to every Open Championship in order to prepare the golf course and also set up all the facilities that they require. So for us, that means there's less tee times in 2022, but we'll do our best to try and get as many people on through our guaranteed tee time packages. And hopefully you can book through Adams and Butler, and we can accommodate some of your guests through Jamie and the team there as well. There are other ways to access the Old Course. The second way is what we call the ballot. And the ballot is a lottery. It works slightly differently, and it's only allocated 2 days in advance. And those 2 days in advance, so today we're Wednesday, we would have entered our 4-ball or our 2-ball or 3-ball for Friday. So 2 days in advance, it would have been published this afternoon. And basically you put your application in, and if you're drawn out of the hat for a tee time, you might be able to play on Friday. So there's no guarantee in that. And obviously it can be quite tricky if you miss out. But one of the great things is, as we've said already, the kind of huge amount of golf courses in St Andrews, such as Dumbarnie and Kingsbarns and the other courses that St Andrews Links Trust run, along with the Duke's Course, which the Old Course Hotel owns and manages itself, mean that we can usually arrange and move tee times around in order to accommodate people trying to get in the ballot. So if you were successful in the ballot and you had a tee time at Dumbarnie, then maybe David might be able to swap that to another day. So that's something that we work on those lines. So it works quite well. It just means that people usually have to spend a few more nights in St Andrews just to kind of get to that point where they're successful. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee, so that can be a little bit tricky. But one way around that is that we also have a singles queue. So I'm always amazed by the stories I hear about the singles queue. But basically every day, if you're a single golfer and you don't have other people to enter the ballot with, you can actually queue up very early in the morning and get joined on to other groups that may have a spare spot in them. Or if there's a no-show or somebody doesn't show up for their tee time, then the starter at the Old Course will be able to allocate people in the singles queue to get onto the golf course. And I've heard some stories of people being out there all night, making good friends with people standing in the queue. Yeah, there's a lot of camaraderie around, those guys. So I've actually heard of people that have got guaranteed tee times on the Old Course who still want to go and have that experience of waiting out all night, trying to get called up and joining on with another group. So, and usually groups that have spaces on the Old Course are usually really receptive to having visitors and people from all over the world come and join them for their round. So it truly is a really amazing experience. That being said, that first tee shot on the Old Course, as you see, is tee off right in front of the RNA clubhouse, right in the middle of town. And it's pretty much, for me, it's my dream to keep playing that golf course over and over again. It's an amazing experience. And There's a lot of nervous people on that first tee. The golf course itself is fairly challenging. There's a lot of hazards and bunkers and a few blind tee shots, including the tee shot on the 17th, the road hole. So it hits over the corner of the Old Course Hotel, and a blind shot, and it's probably one of the hardest par fours in golf, but it really sets the scene for the challenge of the golf course. And then the 18th, when you're playing right back to the 18th green, so right in the heart of the town. It really is an amazing experience to kind of play back into the town. So with the Open coming back in 2022, there's a lot of exciting things going on as well. There's a lot of renovation going on in St Andrews. A lot of the hotels are upgrading their facilities and adding bedrooms. And that is what the Old Course is doing at the moment. So I think we do have a few slides, actually, Jamie. I don't know if you just want to run through them quickly, just to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. The Old Course Hotel has added an extra floor to the wing of the hotel, overlooking the 17th tee. So see here, this is a picture of the Swilcan Bridge. So this is a little bridge over the burn between the 18th and the 1st. Very famous shot, and you'll obviously see the Swilcan Bridge being featured as golfers play at the end of their round. So the hotel there behind, you can see the Jigger Inn on the left. Sorry, if we just go back, and I'll just point out a couple of things because there's some cool things that's going on here. The little white building there is actually, it's the old station master's house, and it's our kind of outdoor pub, relaxed pub style seating outside, great place to watch shots going in onto the 17th. But the Jigger Inn is really a kind of mainstay. Everyone that comes to St Andrews will come down for a beer and sit in the garden and watch that. It's a really cool place to be. And then you'll see the hotel behind as well. So we've got the 4th floor restaurant up on the top there. We're actually building a new bar on the 4th floor on the left-hand side, which is going to be ready for the Open in 2022. And then on this picture here, if we go across a couple of slides, we'll see we're adding an extra floor on the right-hand side of the building, just behind the 17th tee there. So really exciting kind of expansion. We're adding 31 guest rooms at the moment. And these are the green sheds, which used to be my office, and it's now a ballroom space for up to 500 people. So again, for hospitality for the Open in 2022, it's going to be a really cool place to experience and have a few beers while watching the best players in the world play around the Old Course. So the hotel itself has been there since the 60s, and it's been upgraded constantly kind of throughout the last 50 years. So we've got a lot of exciting additions going on with new bedrooms going on there. So the Champions Wing, we're adding 31 new bedrooms, a mixture of rooms and suites, and all course facing. So you're as close to the action as you can get staying in the Old Course Hotel. We also have the spa there, obviously, our dining room up on the 4th floor, the Road Hole Bar. And yeah, if you go into the next slides, it's just got a few mock-up images of the new bedrooms, which are being implemented in the hotel. They're going to be ready for the end of May. And this year, we're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. The Open got delayed by a year. So we're really lucky that everything's going to be ready for this year, ready for going into 2022 as well. So we've also got a new penthouse suite on the 4th floor there overlooking the 17th tee. It's going to be 2 stories with an outdoor fire pit and a bath in the bedroom, which is really cool, overlooking the golf course. So we're really excited about the additions. And then you'll see here some of the function space as well. So we've got a lot of different function space, great for group dinners. A lot of our golf groups will have a true Scottish dinner with maybe some whiskey tasting and things like that. And this finally is a picture of the new, what we're going to call the East Deck, which has just got unbelievable views right over the 17th, the 1st and the 18th there. So yeah, we're going to be very lucky to have these new spaces coming online for the Open in 2022. So yeah, really exciting times. If anyone's coming to St Andrews, they'll have a whale of a time. There's so much golf here. The other way that we haven't talked about is further north. Carnoustie is quite often included in trips to St Andrews as well, another of the Open venues. So along with the likes of Dumbarnie and Kingsbarns, the Old Course, Carnoustie is the other favourite to add in and really make the most of these bucket list golf courses here in the home golf.
Great, thanks very much, Angus. There was one question there about handicaps on the Old Course. Is there a limit or?
Yeah, they changed it. It used to be 24 and they've actually increased it to 36. I think that's just in kind of recognition that the Old Course is playable, big wide fairways, big greens. And again, like David said, caddies are obviously on hand for all these golfers to to help you get around the golf course, and they really add to the experience as well. Some of the caddies here have been here a long time, got some pretty good stories you can hear as you're playing. So if your golf's not that good, you'll still have a good time.
Siobhan, you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, just in the past, our clients used to love walking the course as well. Will that still be available going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, one of the things I forgot to mention is the old course is only open Monday to Saturday. Sunday, the golf course is closed. And the reason for that is, as I mentioned before, the Links Trust manage it on behalf of the town. And I think the original reason was that the land should be used by everyone, so not just for golfers. So they'd close the golf course on a Sunday and the fishermen would go and dry their nets. You might go and hang your washing out there. So Sunday is the day where you can go and walk all over the golf course. There'll be people out there walking their dogs. There'll be people out there pushing prams, playing frisbee. It's a great time to go and experience the course. And even if you're there not to play golf, then it's still a great experience to go out and walk all over the fairways and step in the footsteps of history, you might say, I guess, really. So yeah, really cool time to go and see the course.
And just one other thing is, Adams and Butler, 63% of our clients play golf when they travel with us. So they play at least one round of golf when they travel. So although Jamie is our golfing specialist, everyone in the office can do golf bookings. So the email address for that will be sales@adamsandbutler.com, or if you specifically want to talk to Jamie at adamsandbutler.com. And then we're also doing a lot of things for the British Open. You know, we're talking to properties whereby we can do takeovers, you know, that type of thing as well. And we have one little caveat, and I'm sure, Angus, it'll apply to you as well. A lot of bookings were brought forward from last year. And then there's pent up demand to travel for golf. So if you do want to travel and you want to use one of these iconic golf courses, the sooner you encourage the clients to, you know, to inquire, to place a deposit, the better, because there is all those bookings, you know, being brought forward from last year and that pent up demand for this year as well. And then the British Open is going to compound things even further with availability. So now is not the time to dawdle. If you do want to play golf, even in Ireland or anywhere, you know, you have to book it as soon as possible. And as well as that, you know, people, Scottish people, Irish people will be using these courses as well. Is there anything that we missed? There was a lot of requests I saw, and I think if some of them came in to me privately, but we can book 9 holes for clients as well on some courses. So that's possible as well. And other courses are open on Sundays. So I'm just trying to see what other ones there. The pub, yes, the pub.
About the pub.
Yeah, no, we did that.
The other thing I missed, the other thing I missed was a lot of the links courses, like David said, there's not a lot of carts and buggies. The Old Course Hotel actually owns and manages the Duke's course, which is slightly inland. It's not a true links course, but for somebody that's maybe looking just to add in one round during their stay and take carts, the Duke's course has a fleet of carts. So it's perfect for doing 9 holes or just 18 holes. And that's something that we offer, which is slightly different to the norm of links golf in Scotland and no carts and things like that. So
brilliant. And then apart from the talk about men in kilts, there was one about, which is quite interesting, how many people on average would be in the ballot?
Yeah, it just depends. Obviously, peak season really is May through kind of September. Outside of those months, you've got a much better chance through the ballot, but it just depends. Some days, so they do it on the number of entries. Some days it can be over 100 entries over, which means there's 400 golfers trying to get in those same spots on the same day. It's just a bit crazy, and it just depends what's happening in town and how many people are in the town trying to get on the golf course. So it is a lottery, it is difficult, but if you can come earlier or later in the season, you definitely got much more chance in the ballot.
And just another request that came in there about can we put an itinerary together with accommodation? We can, accommodation and golf. And the other thing is that, like, you know, properties are eager to work with us. Like, you know, they give us suggestions, they work with us, even when it's really hard to get a client in. Sometimes it's amazing, you know, the tricks and tips in the trade, what you can do. So, you know, there is, like, don't be scared about encouraging your clients to, you know, to do places like the Old Course and the newer courses you're seeing today. And then last but not least, for British Open, you know, send those inquiries in, because the sooner the better. Anything, Jamie, I'm leaving out?
No, I think we covered it all. So if you're all right to move on, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Angus, thanks very much for that. Very interesting, very insightful.
Pleasure.
So we're on the home stretch now, everyone. Our last presenter is Lynn, and Siobhan was mentioning about we are looking at working with properties on exclusive use basis for the Open Championship. And one of those potential properties is McLeod House. And we're still working on the logistics, but we have started working on the package together, so we might release something on that very soon. So Lynn, over to you. Just on mute there. There you go.
There we go. Thank you, Jamie. My name's Lynn Headley. I'm the Head of Sales at Trump International. Thank you very much for inviting me on the call. We've seen some wonderful courses so far. So last but not least, I just wanted to share with you our video, a little bit about our championship course and our 5-star resort. And as Jamie was saying as well, what we're planning to do working with Adam and Butler for the Open. So I will video. There we go. So as you'll see, that was a snapshot and overview of our course in McLeod House. As Jamie was saying, we are working with Adam Butler to put together some packages. We do have McLeod House set on the resort, which is ideal for groups of golfers and for non-golfers as well who want to come over. We've got 9 bedrooms and additional lodge spaces as well, but it's an ideal size of property. It's 5-star, and you have your butler service. We've got a extensive whiskey bar there as well. Like I said, for the golfers, you've got direct access to the course. We also, neighbouring courses, we have Royal Aberdeen and Cruden Bay. We're an ideal location. You can fly into Aberdeen or you can fly into Edinburgh or Glasgow. We are approximately 2 hours from Edinburgh, an hour or so from St Andrews, and about 2.5 hours from Glasgow. And not to forget to mention Inverness as well, for anybody that's playing the courses up north, the Royal Dornoch, Skibo, Castle Stewart, then we're commutable distance from there as well. You'll see from our video as well, our video clip, that we've also got a helipad as well for convenience, for logistics of travel. For the non-golfers that are coming over, or for the golfers, the groups that maybe only want to play a couple of days but still want to stay and experience us, we've also got an abundance of distilleries in the area, castles. We can do ceilidhs, cater for whiskey tasting. Anybody that watches Outlander, we're very close to Castle Fraser as well, so that's a big attraction for us. On the course side, we're pay and play. We offer coaching, professional caddy service as well. We also offer, via Adam and Butler, some really good packages as well that whether it's exclusive use or whether you're just coming over individually in a small group or, you know, a couple, we can do the North East Links experience where you stay with us for 3 nights, but you experience and play our course, Cruden Bay and Royal Aberdeen. So we would work with Adam Butler to package all that up for you. We've also got Stay Play Dine as well, where you can stay with us for a couple of nights, enjoy the 5-star experience, and play 36 holes. On site, as well as the golf, we have Country Pursuits. I know, Siobhan, you talked about that earlier as well. That may be of interest. And we've also got beauty on site as well.
And Lynn, I did a newsletter last week about why Aberdeen is such a great place for golf and whiskey. So I don't know if you can touch a bit on the whiskey experience up there.
Oh, the whiskey in the castles. Aberdeenshire, I think, is in excess of 200 castles, 210 castles in Aberdeenshire. And as I said, we've got Dunnottar Castle and Castle Fraser. We're also very close to Royal Deeside as well, the Queen's Home, Balmoral, and we've got an abundance of distilleries roundabout as well. Our own whisky bar, the Clavis Whisky Bar in MacLeod House, which, if you have exclusive use of MacLeod House, is your very own private whisky bar with over 200 whiskies in there as well. There's definitely no shortage of whisky trails, that's for sure.
No, there's not.
And also the Kashmir as well. You know, there's lots of shopping round about for Kashmir whiskies, castle trails. So plenty for the non-golfer or the golfer that's you know, basing themselves with us, but would perhaps like to experience more of the tourist side as well.
Yeah, it's great. And so on the course side of things, caddy wise and club rentals wise, and I saw someone ask a question about academies for adults and kids. What kind of stuff do you offer?
We do academies for children, so they can come and experience. We have also got professional golf coaches as well that can be arranged prior to your stay or when you're there. We've got fantastic driving range and practice facilities as well. Caddy service is available, and also buggy hire, hire of extra clubs, anything like that is there.
There's another question there. When are you reopening, or have you reopened already?
Okay, due to COVID, we're currently open, but just for her members within a 5-mile radius at the moment, because that's our COVID guideline, our restriction to stay within the Shire. We are hopeful to be open from the 1st of April to the public, and then we'll follow COVID guidelines, but we're really hopeful to be open from the 1st of May, fully operational for international or for the rest of the domestic market, the UK market and Ireland.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Lynn. Siobhan, do you have anything else to add, maybe on Aberdeenshire or anything like that?
No, I don't really. It's like a lot of people would have known Turin Castle, that we promote quite a lot to clients, and that's not far away as well. So there's there's quite a good few things up there that people don't think about. So you know that it's another alternative.
Yes, yeah, I would agree. Especially, you know, the distilleries and the Kashmir side of things. Outlander have big followings as well, the Outlander films. So we have Castle Fraser just, you know, half an hour's drive from us as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much then for that. Siobhan, do you have anything else to add before we wrap it up and go to the Q&A?
I don't think so, and I'm just trying to. I think we've covered most questions.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We will end it there. We'll leave the time now for a little Q&A session. So if anyone wants to, you know, unmute themselves, or if they want to type into the question in the box, we'll all stay on for a few more minutes and answer any questions you have.
And then Rachel, can I just ask you, did you send out the Haunted Ireland recording? Because there was 2 questions about that.
Not yet, okay. But I will be. Yeah, it's right, just we had a difficulty with the video, but yeah, I will be.
Yeah, so what we do when we do the recording is we try and do some of the links that people ask for, and sometimes it takes a bit longer to get them all on the same platform, and then we've put them up on YouTube and then put them on our website and then send you the link. So they will be, we always get there in the end, but there is one lady who's looking for tomorrow morning, Rachel.
Yeah, sure. We have it ready to go anyway, so.
Brilliant. And then, yes, we still have good packages for the British Open available. And the Facebook recording, is it on my one or is it on the office one, Gio?
Good question. I believe it is on the office one, but I think once I put it on yours, I'm not too sure.
Brilliant. And then a lot of people want an approximate idea. They're sending direct messages for 8-day trips in the fall. But to be honest, it all depends on the accommodation as well. But if any of you like, I'm going to, if you can send an email to jamie@adamsandbutler.com, or, you know, to make it easier, sales@adamsandbutler.com, you know, we'll be able to give you some suggested itineraries. But the properties do vary in price and the courses. And always with us, everything is customized. And as I always say, we love to nip and tuck at Adams and Butler. So if you think something is a little bit too expensive, tell us, and we can jig it to bring the price down. Like, you know, so everything is possible.
And just a reminder that next week is Paddy's Day, so we'll be having a special webinar next week, and for everyone to wear green.
Yes, and anyone with any Irish flags or shamrocks or anything green for next Wednesday.
That was brilliant. Thank you very much to all our presenters. And it was lovely hearing about the 2 new courses as well, Dumbarnie and Ardfin. Any other questions, or if anyone wants to unmute themselves?
Doesn't appear to be any questions.
No. That's brilliant. So that's fantastic. So thank you very much. As Gio and Rachel said, next week we're doing the St. Patrick's Day one. And what's the one after that, Gio?
I think it's Into the Wild.
Into the Wild. Wow. Sounds interesting. So see you all then next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. And thanks again to our presenters and to everyone who joined us, and to the A&B team that did this for us, Gio, Jamie, and then helped with Rachel and Richard. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Oh, so there's one there. Can US visitors fly into Scotland at the moment?
Not at the moment,
No.
Due to COVID's guidelines. We're hopeful that will change shortly. There is an announcement from our Scottish Government on Tuesday, so we're hopeful to get more light at the end of the tunnel.
And with Ireland, you can fly in, but you have to self-isolate at the moment for 14 days. Just that's the latest news. Again, it changes on a regular basis, so we'll keep you all informed. Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.